Hey guys, welcome back to the Buzz Party channel. Today I'm going to share with you some really cool trash to treasure DIYs which are perfect to get you creative, busy, decorating a home for summer with some items that maybe you found in a local thrift store or that you already have at home that you're going to recycle or upcycle into some beautiful decor pieces to decorate your home this season. And our first project is going to be this beautiful farmhouse style 2-tier tray. And this tray started off its life as a little box or a couple of boxes that used to hold vegetables from the market, and I've been holding on for these for quite a while, and maybe you are the same and you have a couple of these at home. So I decided today to kind of upcycle this a little trash and to put it to good use at creating my beautiful farmhouse tier tray. Obviously, if you haven't got a box like this, if your free market doesn't sell anything in a box like this, I'm sure you can pick up a couple of these at your local supermarket or greengrocers. If you ask them nicely, they might have them, which they are chucking. And maybe if you ask gently and buy a couple of veg from them, they will give you a box as well. But also you could use some trays or some old boxes that you may already have at home. As you saw, for one of the boxes I just chopped off the little feet. They come with little feet, and I took off any of the staples and just kind of sanded off any of the pieces with a little bit of sandpaper. So I did that for one of the boxes only, but do not chuck away the little feet because we're going to be using that to add to the underside of the box, and you see why in a moment. So after I did that, and I used my regular hand saw, if you have something electrical that goes quicker, then by all means use that. And then I just painted my box because it had a lot of designs on it, which I didn't like because I wanted the color to be kind of like a gray. So I decided to go in on a first coat like a primer with a white chalk paint. And here you can use whatever colors you like, whatever colors are going to suit your decor. But like I said, I wanted to do it gray to make it look really rustic, farmhousey, and because I didn't have a gray tier tray. So there you go, these are the colors that I chose. But feel free to swap out the colors and use whatever paints as well that you may have already at home, so you don't have to go out specifically to buy anything for this project. Now for the middle part of my tier tray, I'm using this wooden candlestick or candle holder, whatever you want to call it, that I had at home, and I bought these a long time ago from a local craft store. So there's like unfinished wood specifically for craft projects, so you can probably find something similar at your local craft store, Dollar Tree, online, or even upcycle some old candlesticks that you may already have at home. So it's up to you what you use for the center of the tier tray. So basically this will be in between the two boxes that we painted before, and once again I just primed it with some white chalk paint. And remember the little pieces of wood, I call them feet, but they weren't actually feet. Little pieces of wood that we chopped off from one of the boxes. Basically you're just going to turn the box upside down and just going to stick it on the bottom to create little feet. So this is where they become little feet. And feel free to use some sandpaper if you have a little bit of wood sticking out or some rough edges, which I didn't show on camera, but I did do to make it a little bit flatter. And then I use a combination of a strong glue like E6000 and some hot glue to make sure the little feet are adhered quickly but also really strongly to the underside of the box. And as you can see, my box has 4 little holes. I did not mind that at all. I'm not going to be using anything small in it like beads or something that could fall through the hole. I'm just going to be decorating it each season with some foliage and some little signs and little cute things, depending on the season. So I didn't mind that too much. But if that bothers you, you could use a piece of wood, some foam board, or even cardboard, recycle that and put that on the bottom of your box or tray, to hide any holes or any imperfections that you do not like. But like I said, I did not mind that. And once the little feet were glued in place, I took some more of that paint obviously and just touched up where needed using the white paint before I did a whole coat of grey, and you will see in a moment how that looks.
So
So like I said, I wanted a tier tray that was grey, you know, that kind of like really rustic farmhouse grey. I did not have any grey at home, so here's a little tip. If you haven't got the paint color that you wish to use at home, just look around your stash, see if you can create it from scratch. So basically here for the grey, it was quite easy. I just mixed some black and some white acrylic paint, and I just did a little wash on top of all my pieces for the tier tray, really roughly, as you can see. You know, I did not want to hide the white completely. I wanted to give it an aged look or a vintage look or rustic farmhouse look, like I said. So it's up to you what colors you use. If you're going for the same technique that I've used, make sure that you prime your pieces beforehand, so it's easier to apply your top coat as well. Now when all your 3 pieces are completely dry, you're going to take some more of that strong glue, whatever you're using, you know, E6000, Gorilla Glue, Super Glue or whatever, and a combination of that with the hot glue, once again to make sure that the pieces adhere quickly. So that's due to the hot glue, and make sure that they stay there permanently put due to the strong glue. So basically I just eyeballed where my candlestick was going to sit. And as you can see, I've got one tray that has a little feet and the other one that has no feet. And for the top tray, what I did, I painted underneath as well, just in case it was going to show up when we placed it on top of the candlestick. So as you can see, I painted the underside so that it would look really nice. Now a little tip when creating tier trays like this one, obviously this is, you know, not real wood, so do not put anything heavy on it. But another thing, before you press down the top tray, make sure everything is level. Take an object or a ruler or something like that and just make sure that everything is nice and straight. And this is how I styled my little farmhouse tier tray for the summer. I love the little pops of green and yellow. It makes it really bright and cheery on a table centerpiece in my kitchen, or, you know, just decorating a terrace or patio table as well. Now the next trash to treasure DIY is this super adorable little number vase. Basically I was looking for a vase or a vase, however you say it, to decorate my little kitchen areas. You saw my little shelves, and I decided to recycle this really tall jar that had some olives, I believe, in it. You know, we all have these lying around, you know, there's no excuse, and we just need a little bit of paint. And although this is really simple DIY, I just wanted to give you guys the idea anyway, and to show you that you can take something, everyday item, you know, that most of us just chuck away, and just use to create something really pretty. And basically when I can get hold of more of these tall jars, I'm going to create, you know, other numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and have a 5th one and kind of display them together. And I think it would look super cute as well, with different types of flowers for different seasons, you know. And obviously the white and black evoke that modern farmhouse look, which we love so much. Anyway, so for this project I used some white chalk paint. It's the first time that I was trying to paint jars like these with chalk paint, and I really like the result. It gives you kind of like a really opaque and rustic look. So here's the little tip for you. I needed a couple of coats, I must say, so let it dry between each coat so that you get a really nice result. And for the numbers, you could use a cutting machine like Cricut, Silhouette, and cut out some vinyl and just stick it on there. Job done. But I wanted to give you guys an idea in case you haven't got a cutting machine at home, or even a computer, or your printer's not working or something like that. So I just sketched the number 5 by hand, you know. So just use the pencil and sketch. When I was happy with the result, with the size of the number, I just put it on top of my jar. Obviously the paint was dry. Don't do this when the paint is wet, it won't work so well. So you just trace your number onto the paint, you know, as I'm doing here, very gently, and then you just use some black acrylic paint to paint your numbers on the front. So this is a really inexpensive craft. It's one that you don't need special machines and you don't need to go to your computer. You know, it's much quicker, especially if you're just doing one jar like I am. You know, I just made one on this occasion. So it's much easier to just sketch out your numbers. Obviously, once again, you could use stickers or adhesive numbers that you may find again at the Dollar Tree, online, and your local craft stores. So it's up to you what you use, but here's an option that doesn't involve buying anything new and just basically using supplies and materials that you already have at home. And basically, while you're painting your jars, just make sure you use something underneath to stop your jar rolling around, and I'm just using some nautical rope here. And when you paint your numbers, or you can use, you know, can paint letters or whatever you like on the front, just use a paintbrush that is has a flat head, so it's easier to apply your paint to the jar. I really like how easy this craft project was, and I can't wait to make some more of these cute farmhouse jars. Our next Trash to Treasure DIY is really cute, a flower box or planter that you can use to decorate a table centerpiece, a mantle, or anywhere else you like in your home. And this planter, this flower box, started off its life as a box that I've been holding on for over 10 years. Can you believe that? And it came with some tea from England, you know. And basically I knew I wanted to do something with this box, but I had no idea and no inspiration until this summer, so I decided to turn it into a cute little planter or flower pot. Anyway, it was skinny enough that you could place it onto a mantle and still look super cute, you know. Once again, you can change the blooms and decor inside it for different occasions, and although the writing on it was quite cool and everything, the color of the box was too orange. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but I decided to paint it white and give it that distressed look, you know, that evokes modern farmhouse styling. So I painted the whole thing with my white chalk paint, and then I did a couple of coats all over the box, even the inside of the box, and then I just distressed it, you know, with a bit of sandpaper to make it look really nice and farmhousey, if that's a word. Now, to add an extra detail to my little planter or my flower box, I decided to take some nautical rope and create a couple of little handles. It's super easy. Just figure out how wide you want your handles to be. Just do a knot on each end and hot glue it in place, and voila. Now your little planter or flower box looks totally adorable as it is, and obviously you can recycle all sorts of different boxes in this manner. But what I decided to do to give it that extra farmhousey vibe to my project was to design some signs, you know, freshly picked flowers, as you can see here. And basically I created these printables that you can download from my shop, and I'll be sure to leave the link down in the description box for you so you can grab the same designs. And here you could also use your Cricut, your silhouette, to cut out some vinyl and stick it to the side, but honestly I could not be bothered, so I designed these, printed them off onto label paper, and just basically like a sticker, you just peel the backing and stick that to the front of your box. And basically you can use this same printable design to stick it on so many craft projects, you guys. It's so quick and easy, you know. You don't have to get your cutting machine out. You just print this off, like I said, onto some label paper, cut to size, and voila. I think it would also look super cute as a mini sign as well. So if you have some skinny signs that you want to put somewhere, you know, to decorate your craft project, these are ideal. And I couldn't decide at first if I wanted them to be white with the black letters or black background with the white letters, so I designed both. So when you download it, you get both designs, so you can pick and choose. On one side you can put the white, or on the other side you can put a black, or you can put black on both sides. It's up to you, you know, whatever suits your fancy. Now on this occasion, to decorate my little planter, my little flower box, I just used some green picks which I already had at home. Obviously you use whatever you have handy to you. You can use fresh flowers as well, or you can stick some floral foam on the bottom of the boxes, like I said, you know, as a great support for flowers, faux or real flowers, you know, different stems as well. And you can create whatever arrangement you like to suit different seasons. So at Christmas you could use maybe some Christmas picks, or you know, something else that'll match your holiday decor. And for this occasion I just used some greenery, and you could totally leave it like that, it looks so pretty. And then I inserted some little hydrangea little picks that I already had at home as well, and I think it looks so adorable for summer. Decorating a table centerpiece, or like I said, because the box is so skinny, it would also look great on a mantle or a small shelf in your kitchen, in your garden, in your patio, or anywhere else you like in your home. And our next trash to treasure DIY are these gorgeous little vases, or little lanterns as I like to call them. And once again we're recycling or upcycling some old glass jars, and you can use any size glass jars that you have on hand, that you've been collecting, you know, save up for this project. And basically this time round, to make my life easier, and because I had run out of my beloved white chalk paint, I just used some matte white spray paint. And I needed a couple of coats because this was a really inexpensive spray paint that I had at home, you know. So if you have something like Rust-Oleum or something a little bit more expensive, more quality, you probably just will need just one coat. Anyway, let it dry between coats so that you get a better finish. And the idea here was to spray the jars and then kind of distress them to give them that farmhouse look. But as I was working on the jars, the paints kept, you know, I kept touching it with some pliers and wires and my tools, and basically created little chips naturally. So if you don't want to distress it, just know that your jars will get distressed eventually, you know, with wear and tear, you know, as you use them. So just leave them as they are, and let it happen naturally and organically. Anyway, now we're creating the handles for our little jars or lanterns, and basically I'm just using some bendy little black wire that I had at home. Again, you can use whatever color wire you like, but I'm really into the black and white farmhouse look, if you haven't noticed. And basically you're just going to create a couple of loops. Make sure that the loops kind of match, you know, horizontally, as you can see what I'm doing here. Trim off your wire to size. Don't wrap it too tightly, because we're going to do that at the end. And then you create a couple little hooks so the edges can hook together, as you can see here. Then trim off to size, doesn't matter if it's a little bit big and it's still kind of moving around the top of your jar. And then what you're going to do, you're going to press that in so it doesn't hurt anyone, and just take the side loops and then you're going to twist that to tighten the whole thing. And you can use these little jars as a little lantern, say hanging from a patio umbrella. We're going to create a little handle in a moment, so you could put little LED lights in there and make it look really cool and fun for summer. Or you can use them as little vases like I did. And for the handle I'm using some more of that bendy wire, And you can find this via any local craft store or online, you know. I'm sure the Dollar Tree also sells something similar. And basically you're just going to measure how much you want, or for whatever length of handle that you want, and just gonna hook that through the little loops and then just pop in place like we have done so here, and basically just shape the wire with your hands, and you could totally stop here. So the project is done. But as you know me, I'm a little bit extra and I like a little bit of extra je ne sais quoi, so I had some of these tiny little wooden beads at home, and I decided to add that to the handle, because let's face it, if you're going to use this as a candle holder or a little LED lantern, you want some other detailing, you know, that's going to look super cute hanging somewhere, you know. Or if you're going to use it as a vase like I did, to show you guys, just add some flowers to it, fresh or faux flowers, and you just pop the handle up so that it looks super adorable as well. But you don't have to do this step, it's up to you. You know, I had these little beads at home, not doing anything, just sitting there in my craft box, so I decided to use them. Now when you finish adding all of your beads, you just hook it back on to the little loops on the side, press the wire in place so that it stays in place and holds all the beads, and voila, it's done. So for this one, as you can see, the handle is a little bit longer, and you can vary the size of the handle, you know, and just use these hanging up like I said, or just place the handle up if you're using as a little lantern. I think it's so adorable. Anyway, so to add an extra detail, I also designed some cool little French labels, and once again these will be available for download down in my shop. And I designed an extra label that you can't see here later on, which has a little cow on it, and all the text is in French because, as you know, I live in France, so I decided to do little French labels because I think it looks really cute and really special. So I've designed the same labels with, once again, the black text and the white background, or the black background and the white text. So you get both and you can choose whatever you like, and there are different sizes as well, so you'll match different types of jars, different widths of jars. So you have little skinny ones like this one that says you know, confiture de fraise, which means raspberry strawberry jam, strawberry jelly, whatever, and it says farm produce, you know. And basically to use these, you just print them off onto some sticker paper or label paper, just cut them to size with a pair of scissors, peel off the backing, and just stick them to the front of your jars. And if you don't particularly like the black labels, you can kind of turn the handles around, as I can see here, and I've actually used this little lantern to decorate my tea tray. I don't know if you noticed on our first DIY project, or you could use the white label. It looks super adorable as well, as you can see here. But if you don't want any label, once again, turn the handle around and use the plain side to decorate. But basically I am using these as vases, as you can see, and I think it looks so adorable. Well guys, I really liked creating these DIY projects to decorate my home this summer. If you have a favorite, let me know down in the comments which one it is. I can't pick myself. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the videos and feel inspired to have a go turning some trash into beautiful treasure. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.